Hello, thanks for coming back and welcome to Problem Addictz. Sorry we've been gone so long. It took a while to get everything set up, from moving our stuff and getting new equipment, but we're finally back with a new project, and it's my sister's birthday. So we're going to make her own custom chocolate bar in the shape of her personal logo, which I'm drawing right here. Now, as was most projects, this one all started with a sketch. I designed my sister's custom logo, and it's been a good deal of time inking it in so that the computer could recognize all the dark spots as easily as possible. Once it was done, I could just import it into my favorite 3D modeling software, SolidWorks, and use the tools available to highlight the edges of the photo and create the trace that I would then go back through to extrude cut into a plate. I have this file lying around and I may print it out for a stencil project later, but it isn't exactly what I wanted here, so I just deleted the extrude and kept the sketch, then re-extruded the inside of the sketch to create just a standalone model, went back through with the shell tool on the program and hollowed out the model. This created a crevice that made the print hollow and easier to complete. Doing a solid one was taking a lot more time, but with the magic of video editing, it doesn't really matter. Here you see it being printed out, and it actually came out pretty nice, but there was still more work to do. Once I had the model printed out, it was time to cast it, because I couldn't well pour chocolate into this unless I only wanted to get one mold out. So I got to work using a little bit of cardboard to make a molding container, and after a lot of measuring and a lot of cutting, I was eventually able to get around to gluing down the model. One thing that was different about this particular mold was I had to make sure that I could insert the model from the top. This would allow me to have only part of the model submerged and prevent any of the hot glue lines from appearing in the finished chocolate product, which would have made everything a little bit less aesthetically pleasing. A little bit of time left for my two-part solution to cure, and I made my way back home to make use of a good kitchen to finish things up. I took some dark chocolate and chopped it up into small bits to make sure that it melted fast and even. This was the most delicious part, and the chocolate just kept on melting on my hands. Once everything was chopped up, I moved everything over to a pot that I had set in low heat. I melted some butter in the bottom, moved all the chocolate in, and added some sea salt caramel chips to give the chocolate some flair. A few almonds, because almonds are delicious in chocolate, and the melted stew was ready to go. Since I had mixed the butter in and heightened the melting temperature, the chocolate stayed liquid long enough for me to do a little bit of cleanup with the model. It took some time, but I was able to clear out the edges and the little parts that weren't actually supposed to solidify for the chocolate bar, which was just important to make it easier to remove from the mold later. If you just leave all that chocolate on there, not only does it leave more cleanup, but it also sticks to places that the mold's not supposed to stick. It makes it harder to tell where you can bend the mold when you're trying to get the different parts of the chocolate out, especially for one that is thinner in some areas like this one. This part was really messy, but it was pretty fun. Give it a little bit more time to freeze in the freezer, and you'll find yourself with a finished chocolate bar. Now, getting the chocolate out of the silicone was probably the trickiest part of this, and as you can see, I had a little bit of difficulty. What I didn't know before I started the project was that you can actually go back through with another process and temper your chocolate to give it a little bit more flexibility and make it more receptive to being removed Even so, it didn't just shatter into a million pieces, so I was able to retain most of the shape just by realigning the parts, and for a first try, didn't come out too bad. My little sister seemed to like it good well enough. And that was the end of the project. So, as always, thank you guys so much for coming out and checking out what's new on Problematic. Don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe if you're on your way out. But while I'm putting away this extra chocolate that we've got flying around, I just wanted to let you know about some of the things that we're trying to do. So, once again, so sorry about having such a long period of time between videos, but we are college students, so there's not too much time or money with which to do projects. Still, I want to make sure that there's good content coming out and want to do some experiments as well. I'm thinking about doing different video editing kind of experiments, different kinds of videos, stuff that's funnier, and also seeing if you guys may want to see some tutorials or other types of things. We're still kind of new at this, but we're working hard to make sure that this channel can be as effective as possible and also a whole lot of fun. I really enjoyed making this video and hope to make more in the future. Just leave suggestions in the comments below and let us know what you think. If there's anything we can do better, we'd love to know. Don't forget to check the description for the music and different materials that we used in this video. Hopefully they'll come in handy. Until next time, bye.